Good morning.
What's up, everybody?
Good morning, guys.
Y'all good? Is everybody good? Listen, we're just going to give a few folks a chance to jump in the room. I'm super excited, babe. We got a great topic set aside for everybody. Good morning, Damon. Good morning, Marsha. Good to see you guys. Y'all do me a favor. Let us know if the sound is okay. Babe, today's topic is going to be off the chain. For those of you all who do not know, if you're catching us by replay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put in hashtag replay so that we know who you are, where you're chiming in from. Maybe tell us the city that you're in. What's up, George? Good to see you, brother.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for showing us out. I'm representing, man. We representing. Shout out to Son of Man. Shout out to Son of Man for the hoodies. And so we appreciate that. But it's a little chilly. It's 25 degrees this morning we woke up.
Yeah.
I was like, yikes, that is bad. So for those of you all who are just jumping in, Buenos dias, Angel, good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, here's what we wanted to let you guys know. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 habits of highly successful single moms.
Right.
Now, Stephen Covey did the whole series on the habits of highly successful, this, that, and the third. But I want to talk a little bit about today of some things that I've watched over the years, baby, and it's single moms at work.
Right. And I think that being a single mom is probably one of the hardest roles you will ever have in your life. Mm-hmm. I was a single mother for a number of years, and it was full of its challenges. But it is possible to be successful as a single mom, but there are some things that you need to do in order to make that happen, and it's not trying to do it on your own, for one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're going to talk about some of those things today and just really get into, and just want to give shout outs to those single moms that are out there. Your work is often unappreciated.
Yep.
Because unfortunately children are takers.
Yep.
By nature, and so they don't always say thank you. So we're saying thank you to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the time, the energy, the sacrifices that you make.
Absolutely.
In order to be a good mom when you don't have that support of the other parent.
Absolutely. Real quick, guys, for those of you all who are just jumping in, my name is Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, and sitting here right next to me is my lovely light-skinned wife,
Sheri Brooks Jr., author, speaker, relationship, and life balance coach. And welcome to Breakfast with the Brooks, guys.
Look, George said, man, you from Baltimore. Stop being so soft. Let me tell you something from Baltimore. So here's the truth. The truth is, yes, I grew up in South Baltimore. My mother was a single mom. She figured it out. One of the things, and I didn't learn this until much later, my mother was highly effective as a single mother, and I didn't see this until after it was all said and done. So I want to help those moms who are struggling. If your struggle is like my mother's when we were growing up in South Baltimore, you know, this ain't a game. I don't care what city you come from. I don't care what culture you come from. Doing anything, particularly raising children by yourself, ain't easy. It takes work. And we're going to give you guys some strategy this morning. So really quickly, for those of you all who are chiming in really quickly, Prissy, good to see you. Good morning from North Carolina. Tiffany, good morning. Coming from the DMV, good to see you. Candace, good morning. We talking about you this morning, Cam. My sister was a single mother for years. She knows that life. Nikkei, good to see you. Good to see you. Guys, do me a favor. Share this with somebody. Let them know that we are live. We're on Breakfast with the Brookses. We're going to take our time this morning.
Right.
And we're going to break down a few things for people.
Right. And before we get into the show, we want to shout out Custom Homes of Virginia. They've allowed
You keep saying Virginia with a F because you're from D.C. It's with a V.
Custom Homes of Virginia.
You did it again. One more time.
I'm saying it the way I say it. They know what I mean.
Y'all see the hand? Y'all see the hand? George.
Know what I mean.
George. Southeast is coming out. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? They know what I mean. I said the hands and look, single mothers, y'all better come on up here and represent. I can see some people clapping already. Get them, girl. Get them.
I just wanted to thank Custom Homes of Virginia for allowing us to use their model home, beautiful model home here, to host Breakfast with the Brooks every Saturday morning. As you can see, we're in a different room today. We're actually in the master bedroom, and
man, is it nice?
Like,
yeah. We did a little bit of a tour on
yeah,
our Facebook
yeah.
page. So if you go over and you look at that when we get done the show, you'll see a little bit of a walk around. I caught Sheri doing her face in the bathroom. This place is vicious, guys. If you're in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area and you are looking to build a home, buy a home, you may want to check them out, Custom Homes of Virginia. And they've got 30 different models that they build. And quite honestly, they're doing it all over the area. What you looking at? What's wrong?
Virginia.
Virginia, right.
Virginia.
It ain't Virginia. I don't know why y'all grow up there. We didn't say that in Baltimore. Virginia.
You guys
We said a whole bunch of other things, right? Talking about Terry and Cherry and Bury and, and right, Q, you know.
He trying to act all sophisticated.
Right. No, I didn't grow up. My mother used to, my mother would sit there and she would literally, you talking about single mothers. So let me give you a single mother story. Moment. Here's a single mother's moment. So my mother she was a wordsmith.
Right. Yes.
And
she
still is. Anybody knows my mother. She's highly intellectual. She knows words. Yes. She understands. She would constantly press us to pronounce and enunciate correctly. Mm-hmm. And it just was a thing of hers. And so when we was growing up, we used to say the word pit instead of put. So somebody would say, pit that back, pit that up. Where did you pit that? Instead of the word put, right. Just like you say, Virginia. That's the way.
That's not the same.
Right. It's not the same.
No.
What you mean it's not the same?
You missed the whole pit and put are two different words.
Virginia with an F and Virginia, two different words.
Virginia is not a word.
Hello, whatever. Right. Look, Marsha talking about the zinc. Put that in pit. Look, and we said that too. Pit that in the zinc. Like what in the world? So so I'm getting back to my single mother story.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna tell some single mother stories this morning. If y'all got some single mother stories, I need y'all to put them in the chat. We're gonna read them back. But here's the deal: the things that single mothers say. Now this was a little different from my mother. She would say, "You said what?" And y'all know y'all mothers got that look that when you look at you, it's like, "Oh my God, something getting ready to go down," and I'm not sure if I want to be in the same room. And I said, what are you talking about? The word is what? Pit. No, it's what? Put. Say it again. Put. Say it again. Put. All right. Don't let me hear you talking like that anymore. So my mother.
Andre going into dog versus Doug.
Right. Doug.
I want a hot Doug.
I want a hot Doug.
A hot Doug.
Can I get a hot Doug?
Hot dog.
So look, guys, we cutting up over here. Give me a single motherism real quick.
Because I didn't grow up in a single mother home. I grew up with both my parents. I was a single parent. I don't know. My daughter would have to chime in, I guess. Or
somebody tag Shantae.
I don't know anything that I particularly said that would be qualified as a single motherism.
Before we get into our content for today, this has nothing to do with the 5 things I want you to talk about. But if you're ready for the 5 things, I put ready in the chat. Put ready in the chat. Put ready in the chat. While I'm waiting for my readies, I just want y'all to know that Sheri and I created an academy. It's called MAPS, Marriages and Parenting Successfully. It's a relationship academy, and it's designed really to help people grow their skill sets when it comes to doing marriages, doing parenting, doing relationships at a high functioning level. As a matter of fact, we're super excited that next week we're going to be launching a group coaching environment specifically for singles.
Yes. So for all of those singles out there that want to one day get married.
Yep.
You have a desire to get married, whether you've been married before and you're divorced now, whether you've never been married before and you're desiring to get married. You've been single and satisfied for many years, but now you believe that, you want to take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're currently in a relationship and you're looking to be prepared for marriage. This is going to be the place for you. We're going to create a private, a closed group, just like we do our other groups within the MAPS Relationship Academy. But next week, we're going to do a open forum.
Yep, it's a webinar. It's going to be basically a roundtable discussion, and we're going to talk about how to discover your mate. What would it look like if you could choose right and choose forever the first time?
Right, and this is going to give you a taste of what it is that we do within the community, what we do within MAPS. And so we're going to kind of give you guys that one to give you guys a taste, and then we're going to invite you to come and join us in MAPS.
Yep, so we're excited about that. That's next Thursday. Y'all mark your calendars. Sophia, do me a favor. Somebody put that in the chat. MAPS, if you want to find out more about the Relationship Academy, go to www.thecrcoach.com. We got a whole bunch of readies in the room, baby. Angel is ready. Nikkei is ready. Sophia Sophia is ready. Andrea is ready. Tiara, what's up? Daniela, shout out to the Maps Masterclass. She's ready. Nikkei is laughing out loud. Why are you laughing at us? Sophia, talk about that's what's up. I think Sophia is representing the single. So number one.
Before you do that, can you put the clock back up on the thing?
What clock?
That. It went off the screen.
It's going to do that as I move my cursor.
Okay. I'm just trying to watch my volume because it's showing me my volume to make sure you guys see me because he says I talk too soft sometimes.
Yeah. She do, and I talk too loud, so we're going to figure it out. You got one loud and one soft. So number one. 5 things, guys, we're going to talk about today. 5 habits
of successful, highly successful single moms.
Okay, so if you're ready for number one, put a number 1 in the chat. Number 1, and I want y'all to write this down. Highly successful, and it's really effective more than successful. I really want to say the word effective because successful is so subjective, right? Everybody measures success differently, but we can really measure if you're effective or not. But number 1, she is proactive. She is proactive. Put that in the chat. Somebody put that in the chat. Proactive. When we say proactive, what that really means is that she actively jumps out and gets the support that she needs for herself and her kids.
Right. Because what happens, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, as single parents, as single moms, a lot of times you're trying to do everything yourself. And the truth is you can't do everything yourself. And so in order to be effective, you need to be proactive. You need to kind of forecast what's coming, what your needs are going to be, what your children's needs are going to be, and then solicit others to help you. You solicit that support. Now, you may not have the support of the other parent. They may not be actively involved, or they may not be as involved as you need them to be. And so this is where you have to reach out within your community. You have to have a community first to be able to reach out to your community to get support. And so that's whether if they're in sports, it's through their coaches, it may be through mentoring, it may be through a number of different ways that you get other people involved in their life to provide support in areas that you need assistance, because you can't do it all. And I just want to stress that single moms, it is impossible to do it all. And we as single mothers think we can, and we do, and we do, and we do, and we do. And what happens eventually is you're going to burn out.
Yep. So one thing I do want to help people in this part, babe, this is where I tell moms, Mom, you're going to have to now put on your coach's hat.
Right.
And a proactive mother is a coaching mother. Mm-hmm. And I want you to think about this, guys. When you think of a head coach of any sports franchise, for all of you who've played sports, you'll understand this meaning. So you have a head coach, and let's just use football since the Super Bowl is going to come up. You got the head coach. Then you have assistant coaches, and generally they are coaches of different phases of the game. So you have an offensive coordinator. He's a coach for the offense. You have a defensive coordinator. He's a coach for the defense. Then you have a special teams coordinator. That's a coach for the special teams. And then it drills down even further. So you have a linesman coach, an offensive line coach, a defensive line coach. You may have a running backs coach. You may have a wide receivers coach. All he does is coach the wide receivers. But if y'all can see the tiers and how that layers, I want you single mothers begin to think of yourself as a head coach. Mm-hmm. You are in charge of your team. Your team are your children. What does it look like for you to be able to get other coaches to help you develop different phases of their life? And so where it's education or whatever the other phases are, if you begin to shift your thinking and begin to think, not mom, because the mother is the doer.
Right.
And that's where you mess up. But the coach is the thinker. And when you can transition from doer to thinker, the entire game changes. And now you can put around your team the coaches that they need in order to assist you in getting that W. Make sense?
Right. And just to help some of you out that are not sports fanatics or are not into sports, think of it as even at work. So if you're the director, you have supervisors under you, you have managers under you. You're the director, so you are directing, you're orchestrating everything, and you're assigning, you're delegating.
Yep.
And so being a effective single mom, you have to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to place people in positions where their strength is, and that's going to benefit the ultimate mission of the company. Your
Absolutely.
company is your family.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
is your children. And so whatever the goals are, whatever the mission that you're trying to achieve, you got to get people lined up in position. You need managers that are over, you need somebody over finance. You need somebody over operations. You need people in different positions to be able to get everything achieved. And so you're functioning as the director, the head.
Yep.
And you're delegating to help fill in those gaps.
Last thing on this, and we'll move on to number 2. If you're ready for number 2, just put a 2 in the chat, guys. And I see people chiming in. Yeah, I think that we got to think this way, y'all, because if we don't transition this way, Mom, here's what I'm going to promise you. You're going to always get stuck. And when you get stuck, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated, you get overwhelmed. When you get overwhelmed, here's the end game of that. Mm-hmm. Your kids lose.
Right.
I need y'all to really clearly get that. Your kids will lose when you get frustrated. But I think about, baby, the person, either the director, the head coach, whoever this person is, I think of them saying, but I don't have the resources to hire people. I don't have the ability to get people on my team. And I don't think that that's true. Right. I think that could be true in one sense. But if you think outside of the box, your job as a coach, your job as a director is to recruit.
Right.
And I need you guys to understand that the fundamental thing that makes recruiting work is knowledge of the team that you're coaching or the team that you're leading and what their needs are. It is really, really simple that if you decided to back up and begin thinking, what are my kids' needs? Let's say, for instance, you have a special needs child. Right. And this child struggles either mentally or physically, and they have to work a little bit harder than the average kid. Right. One of the things that you need to be thinking about from a recruitment standpoint is who is already winning with a special needs child. And how can I build a relationship with this person, thus thinking at some point I will be able to recruit the efforts or the energies or the knowledge that they have so that I can add value to my child. Right. Sometimes y'all are looking for other people to do what it is that you can't do. And sometimes it really is about being in their space long enough to pick up their habits so that you can pass them along.
Right. And I'm going to say again, community, building a community. And we're going to get into that later a little bit more. But that's essential.
Essential. We got a bunch of number 2s in the room.
Number 2.
Daniela is ready. Marsha and Damon is ready. Karen is ready. What's up, Miss Tanya? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Number 2 is a single mother who is highly effective, has vision-based goals.
I'm trying to read your writing.
It's okay, babe.
Has vision-based goals. And so that means that you have a clear picture of where you're going and have learned the art of reverse engineering. And what that means is that you know where it is you're trying to go, and you know where you're trying to take your children to, and then you're able to strategically plan, okay, how do we get there?
Right.
What are the steps we need to put in place in order to get there? So if the goal is for my child to go to college, I see that they have the potential, I see that that's a direction that they're going. What are the things I need to start doing when they're 12, 13, 14, to start putting in place to get them to that place? I can't wait until they're 17 to say, okay, now let's look at what we got to do to get to college. But to be able to back up at that age and see, okay, this is the mission, this is the goal.
Yeah.
What do I need to start putting in place now to get them to that place?
So, Mom, listen to me really carefully. I want you to say with me, and I know I can't hear y'all, but I want you to say this with me. My job is to paint a picture for my children. My job is to create a picture so that my kids can see what the end looks like. Let me tell you what I mean. So, for example, I'm going to use that college analogy. Let's say, for instance, for whatever reason, your kid loves the University of Miami. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's a little boy and he likes the Hurricanes because they play on Saturdays, and maybe the name of his little league football team is the Hurricanes, and he has this affinity. Mom, I want to go to college and I want to play for the Hurricanes. Now, he's 5. He don't know what he liked, the orange, the blue, the this, that, the third. What would it look like at 5 for you to decide that next summer for summer vacation, we're going to put together a quick trip to Florida? If you're living in around that area, this is something you plan for. And so maybe you decide to take a road trip. They don't know where they're going. They think they're going to a Disney World, and maybe they are. But while you're down in that area, you take a whole week, you decide you're just going to drive a few hours south, and you guys are going to end up on the campus of the University of Miami. Let me finish. So at this particular point, guys, when that happens, it births a picture of what that could look like. It could be something even a lot less expensive than that by simply now his colors in his room are the University of Miami colors and things like that. It helps to birth a vision for what it is that he wants. And the older he gets, what you're going to find out is if you begin to paint that picture properly, you'll find out whether they really want that or not. And that rabbit hole gets a lot deeper than that, and you can really get super creative like that.
Right, or even for the single mother that financially you ain't got it to do that.
Let's be real.
That's fine. If there's a college in your area and they're talking, you see that they have the potential, they're talking about they want to go to college at 5, 6, 7, whatever age they are, take them to a college football game on the weekend. If there's a college in your area, it doesn't have to be necessarily the college. Get them exposed to what that environment is like.
That's the whole point.
Take them to a football game at the local college. Take them to the library at the local college so they can start envisioning.
They got to go to the library anyway.
So they can start envisioning what that really looks like.
Yep.
You know, for an elementary school or middle school student to go to a college library, if they are academically inclined and that's something that they're striving for, oh my God.
That's a whole nother kind of library.
Oh, wow.
Like this is like
they have books
the holy grail
everything.
of libraries.
And that will spur something on in them if that's really, you know, something that they're supposed to be doing. If that's the direction that they're trying to go, that's going to spur something on because they're going to be motivated to a level that nothing you say can do, but them visually seeing it and them being able to see themselves in that environment.
It changes the whole game.
Right.
It changes the whole game. So number 3, really quickly, while Sheri gets her glasses squared away.
I'm actually having a hot flash. I was steaming up.
They're a little foggy.
Yeah.
Stop steaming up my glasses. Remember Bugs Bunny? Stop steaming up my glasses.
This is live, y'all.
Anyway, welcome to live TV, right? So listen, we're going to go to number 3. If you're ready for number 3, put number 3 in the chat. Love that. Helping them build their vision.
Yes,
absolutely, Lacey.
Definitely.
Because when you do that, it gives them a vision. Right. Guys, kids don't know what they want.
Right.
And you have to practice with them exploring what they want looks like so that they can get their hands on it in time enough to do something about it.
Right. And one thing, and this is something, I wasn't raised in a single parent household, but this is something that my mom did do for us. Now, we didn't have money for a lot of stuff. I mean, we lived really comfortably, but she didn't have the resources or the ability, because she didn't drive back then, to get us out and to experience a lot of things. But she realized very early on that me and my brother both were very creative and that we were drawn to music and things of that nature. So one thing that we used to do was that and I'm laughing because people used to make fun of it, but
right.
I'm glad that she did this, is that she exposed us to a lot of culture via public broadcast, TV.
PBS.
Through PBS, through the public broadcast, because they have plays, they have orchestras, they have all this stuff. And she introduced us to that through us watching that on TV. So she didn't have to pay for us to go to see production. She didn't have to pay because she didn't have the ability to do that at that particular time in our life. But we got exposed to culture. Simply by her saying, hey, let's watch this instead of watching something else. Absolutely. And so I developed a love for the arts that I believe I never would have gained because we weren't in a position where she could take us. We weren't going to the Kennedy Center every weekend.
And so as a single mother now, what I realized you did that with your daughter. I did the same thing with my daughter. She grows up to become a musician. Right. She writes 2 albums. Right. Right. Sings. We didn't even know that she was talented like that till she started showing us her book of poems. Right. And then now you see what exposure does, guys? But I exposed her to that at a young age because I had been exposed to it in that way because as a single mom, I didn't have money to do that. Ain't nobody had time for all that. I get it. But I exposed her to that. And so exposure is key. Whatever their interest is, you have to expose them to 100%. I got a bunch of number 3s in there. Andrea, good to see you. Sharon, good to see you. Miss Prissy, good to see you. All of Sharon, these, Candace, y'all are saying number 3. Love it. So number 3 is, and it goes right along with the vision part of it, but single moms who are highly effective, they generally are extremely aware of prioritizing. Prioritizing. Let me tell y'all what I mean by prioritizing. Prioritizing is not a list of things to do.
Right.
Prioritizing is not something that you just check off. Prioritizing has everything to do with what are the intrinsic needs of my kids and how do I put them at the top of our list of things to do. So now my list of things to do actually goes away and it becomes a priority list. And so therefore it's a much smaller list. The priority for today is, the priority for this weekend is, the priority for this coming week is, the priority for the summer is. Y'all hear how I'm thinking? I'm not thinking, what are we going to do? I'm thinking, what is the priority based on the season that they're in? And when you begin to prioritize and move those things that are priority, if your child is in middle school, priority really needs to be, what are they doing in high school and how are they going to navigate that? And how can you position them to be able to think that, although it's 3 years away?
Right. And I'm going to say something that's not,
it's not popular.
Not popular.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And
I'm going to sip my...
I may not be like by saying this, and I'm going to preface this by saying I did not get this right the entire time I was a single parent. But one thing that I realized, that an area that I missed it in was that I did not make my daughter my number one priority. I allowed my own interests, my own needs. And when I say needs, I mean having someone in my life.
You talking about female needs? Like just, you needed a boo.
I allowed a man or a relationship to outshine
this was before
my daughter.
Me. I didn't have nothing to do with this. This was before me. I'm sorry.
Being my number one priority. And I realized later on that I missed it in that area because I was a single parent. It was just me and her. I needed to make sure that she was the number one priority because I was all she had. And so I think that as single moms, and I know the stresses of being a single mom, I'm not even dealing with you being lonely, but just let's deal with reality, the financial stress of being a single parent. You need help. Oftentimes you may not be financially in a position where you really can do it on your own and you're looking for relief. And that's real.
I get it.
But I want to stress to you guys the benefits of making your child your priority and ensuring that they are your number one priority when you are a single parent. Now, this does not mean that you can't get into a relationship at some point in time.
And we're going to talk about that.
But I think that them knowing that they are the priority, them knowing, even when you do get in, and I'm going to touch on this, and I don't know if I'm overstepping where you're going, but even when you get into a relationship, that still needs to be the number one priority. Even when you meet this person.
That's point number. That's the last one.
Okay.
So you can slow down.
I'm gonna
there.
slow down. But
Marsha says you're gonna cut me because I'm messing with you. But no, I get it.
All right, but I think that is an area that we often miss it because of our own personal. And I'm not saying that your needs are not real. They are. But the thing you have to realize, this child did not ask to come into this world.
Absolutely.
This child did not ask to be raised by a single parent.
Absolutely.
And so because of whatever the circumstances, not that it's your fault that you wound up in the situation that you're now a single parent, but the reality is that you are. Yep. You have to make sure that their needs are taken care of first, that they're taken care of first before anything else, and that you have to maintain that they are the priority and keep them in that position of priority, because it hurts them in the long run because they're already going through rejection, through all these other emotions of
identity
their other parent
issues,
not being there,
all that.
And the last thing that they need is that the parent that is there is still not making them a priority.
Guys, I will say this one thing. I'm grateful to my mom that throughout my entire childhood, we knew we were her number one priority. There was no question about it. And it wasn't from a hovering or a smothering standpoint. It was how she set her life up. I can tell you, I don't remember, and this is, again, no indictment. I don't need y'all to hear judgment in this. But I don't have a childhood remembering of a revolving door of relationships where my mother was concerned. There was not a door where every time we turned around, we had a new uncle. Right? That wasn't the case. And I remember, we're going to talk about this in the next couple of points, but it is hugely important during those times for you. It's already enough uncertainty going on in your personal life. The last thing that your child needs is for that uncertainty to visit them.
Right.
And so if you're ready for number 4, I want you to put a number 4 in the chat. My mom has an 8th grade education, and she ensured that we were always her priority.
Amen.
Is what Marsha said. No, I love it. I love it. And the truth is that provides kids something to fight with. Mm-hmm. Because here's what I'm going to challenge you. You're not raising children. You're raising future adults.
Right.
And if you understand that, that means that when they get up and they get of age to leave, you need them to be equipped to do so. Mm-hmm. So the work that you putting in on this front end ensures that when come time for them to be 17 and 18 and you looking for them to graduate and either go to college, get a trade, start a business, but get up out your house, now you're not sitting up there talking about where you going. When you leave, are you ready? You sure? You ready? Nor are you the parent talking about, don't leave.
Don't leave
don't
me.
Leave me. What I'm going to do? Oh my gosh. What I'm going to do? What? Right. No, it's a very healthy and a balanced situation because you prepared for that day. Mm-hmm. And then you get to live your life. But number 4, if you're ready for number 4, I got a string of number 4s. Prissy, I appreciate that. Daniela, thank you. Karen, I appreciate that.
So number 4.
Tiara, thanks. Number 4.
So number 4 is that she cooperates with her ex.
Ooh.
Which means that she's a peacemaker.
Wait a minute. You moving too fast. Okay. She does what?
She cooperates.
But you don't understand that ex. Negro.
I'm going to get into that.
But you don't understand. I ain't dealing with him.
You can only, let me say this. The word, when we say cooperates with her ex, that means that she's willing to co-parent. The key in that word is co-parent.
It means cooperative.
He has to cooperate. You have to cooperate. If he's not cooperating, he's not co-parenting. But if he is willing to cooperate, you have to reciprocate and cooperate with him as well.
You're using your big words today. I see it. I love it. Some big college words.
And so you have to, if he's willing, if he wants to be involved in the children's lives, at whatever level he wants to be, you have to let go of your feelings.
Yep. Yeah.
And you got to step back.
Key, do you love me?
I'm not doing that. I wasn't doing that.
Right. I thought you were saying you was in your feelings. You wasn't saying you was in your feelings. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
If he's willing to cooperate in any way, if he wants to be involved in any way, you have to let go of your feelings. You have to work on yourself to be able to get past that and allow him to be involved in the children's lives if that's what he's trying to do.
Absolutely.
Now, if he's not trying to, you do what you got to do. But if he wants to cooperate, you can't be the thing that's blocking that because of your own emotions, because of your own hurt, because of your own pain. And that may mean them having a relationship with him outside of you.
Yep. And I'm going to say this. I never will forget. A lady told me about a year ago, I was having a discovery session with a client. And she said, I've learned that I have to love my kids more than I hate my ex. And that messed me up.
Say that again.
That was tweetable. I was like on that.
Say that again.
She said, I had to learn that I needed to love my children more than I hate my ex. Now that'll preach.
And some of us done hated our exes.
Let's just be real, guys. Here's a challenge. And I need people to understand. He's your ex.
He's not their ex. He's not their ex.
He's your ex.
He's not their ex.
He is your ex.
He's not their ex. He's
which
still
means
their father.
He's their father. So if you think about this,
I'm
moving too fast. Let that breathe.
Marinate.
Let that
need to marinate.
Let that marinate.
He's
just
your
stir
ex.
that up.
But he's not their ex. And so just because your relationship with him ended, their relationship did not end.
And what's not fair, guys, is for you to now leverage and toss over to them this feeling of, I'm done.
He left me.
I'm over it. He is dead to me. But he ain't dead to them. That's their dad. And even if he is on drugs, even if he has cheated on you, even if he has committed a crime, even if I don't care what the offense, that's their father.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you put your children in the middle of a toxic relationship. And I'm not dealing with that. I'm just saying fundamentally dealing with the attitude that you have towards him. That's what I'm dealing with. It's the mindset. Because guys, here's what I will tell you. I think that my mother did us such a great service, and I hope she hears this. We've told her this publicly. My sister is on the chat right now, and she'll attest to this. My mother exhibited what it looked like for her not to put her mouth on our father. Mm-hmm. Not to us. If she ever did, we never heard that.
Right.
We grew up to realize there was some egregiances.
Right.
There was some missteps. There was some mistakes. There was some flat out disrespectful behavior. There was all of that, right? As it happens in many relationships. But my mother never allowed us to hear her talk bad, talk down, or which enabled us guys to live in a space to be able to develop our own relationship.
Right.
Because here's what I will promise you. If he is not right, your kids will pick up on that and they will speak to that themselves. That becomes their truth. You know what? I don't know what the name of it is, but daddy not right.
Right.
That I don't know what because kids are great observers. Right. They know, right? So I just think that you guys need to really understand that cooperating with your ex doesn't mean agreeing with your ex.
Right. And I just disclaimer again.
Disclaimer.
I didn't get this right. Now, I did not badmouth my daughter's father, but in the beginning, he wasn't trying to cooperate the way I wanted him to cooperate. So I did put some blocks up initially. Mm-hmm. But then after time, I just let go and I stepped back.
Now the blocks were, if I'm just getting, I know the answer to this, but I want everybody to get real clear. When you say blocks, meaning because of how you felt in terms of his not wanting to cooperate and what that was doing to your daughter, you decided to block his ability to some degree, that even if he switched up, it was like not happening. Is that what you mean? Explain that.
No, I made, we were in different states. And I don't know if I would say they were unrealistic expectations. I had some unrealistic expectations, but because he didn't meet my expectations, I basically was like, until you do this.
Oh, I got it.
Then.
Got it. So you gave him a bunch of ultimatums and there were benchmarks and he almost had to there was this pass or fail thing with you.
Right.
It's like, if you don't measure up to this, then you won't get that. It's like the carrot.
Right. It was like, well, I'm not saying you can't be involved, but you got to do it this way.
Oh, I got it.
And so that was, yeah. And then after, trial and error, he eventually just backed up completely and was like, he didn't want to be involved. But
ooh, Sheri, you just said something, guys. Here, and y'all who've heard me talk enough, or you've heard me say this, and we're getting ready to go to number 5, and I want y'all, if you're ready for number 5, go ahead and put that in the chat. Guys, remember this. You get to control the environment by which your children develop a healthy relationship with their father, mm-hmm. right? And I'm going to tell you that when you put up those kinds of blocks, as Sheri got finished, your children will begin to take on your attitude.
Right.
It's not their attitude. Mm-hmm. It's yours. Mm-hmm. And what's not fair is that now it's characterizing or informing their relationship with their father, and it's not necessarily accurate.
Right.
And the problem is that now fathers are trying to, let's say, for instance, the father cut up when he was 5. Y'all got separated, then eventually divorced, whatever. He's now 15. But because of the attitude that you had toward the offense, you've had this attitude for 10 years that your son got to watch you grow with.
Right.
Now your son has this attitude, and at 15, where he can pick up the phone and call his father for himself, he's not going to do that because the attitude that he's developed has been something that he has learned over time by watching you.
Right. If he's going to be involved in your life, he's going to call you.
And that's so don't worry about him. This is just me and you. That's dangerous. Mm-hmm. That's dangerous. And the reason why is because that is how you feel. Mm-hmm. Let your child have the common courtesy to be able to develop their own feelings around that. And I guarantee you, Marsha, you hit the nail on the head. You setting them up. Right. So we got a long list of 5s. Linwood, good to see you, brother. Chris J, I appreciate it. By the way, guys, if you've not taken the time to subscribe to our channel, I think it's right up at the top. You'll see it, youtube.com/the CR Coach. And it's right there on your screen.
Make sure you ring the bell.
Make sure you ring the bell so that you can get the notifications when we go on every week. But take the time to subscribe to the channel because we've got other content there that will absolutely help you. So number five, and this is something that's super important because your kids are going through some strange stuff, y'all. And I need you to understand that number 5, you need to, and mothers who are highly effective, they ensure smooth transitions. Mm. And so if somebody can put that in the chat. Number 5 is ensure smooth transitions. And when I mean by transition, Sheri, I really mean your goal is to be flexible when it comes to making adjustments for them as they transition these variables in y'all's lives of you being single, particularly if it's by divorce, particularly if it's by long-term relationship where this kid was used to a particular way of doing things. And now all of a sudden he's in another home a couple days a week. Y'all going back and forth. You need to figure out where do you shoot the gaps and make this a easy. Where's the easy button? Right.
And I think a lot of times we don't think about what this is doing to our children, what this is like, them living now with just, and it may be a situation, you guys may have never been living together. And so, but now they have this other family that they have to go visit or that they're spending time with. And so it's two different environments. And this is that's major adjustments that they're having to make regularly if they're involved with their other parent.
Yep.
And so outside of the home, they got certain rules, certain things in your home. Then they go to this other place and it's entirely different. Then they got to come back. Then they got to make adjustments. So you want to make that transition as smooth as possible and allow grace for them and not be so stringent that, number one, you can't control what happens outside of your home. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I know a lot of single mothers go through. It's like, I do things this way in my house, and I want
we don't do it
other
like
parent
that.
to do the exact same thing. They're not going to do it the same way. They not. Let's just be real. It's not going to happen.
They didn't do that the same way when y'all was together.
Right. And so you got to allow some grace and realize, unless it is a dangerous situation for your child to go into, them going over there and eating pizza all weekend is not going to kill them.
Right, absolutely.
They don't eat sugar. No vegetables the whole time. Just make sure they brush their teeth and let's get them back on their diet when you get them home. It's not going to kill them. So a lot of times we get hung up on stuff that's not that important, and then that makes that transition. You make it rougher or rockier for your child. And this also goes to when I was talking earlier about when you get in a relationship with somebody. So you're a single mom, it's you and your child, you get in a relationship. I think one thing that a lot of single moms don't do is that you don't consider your child in the relationship. Now, I'm not saying as soon as you hook up with somebody, you bring them around your child. That's not what I'm saying. But when you meet this person, okay, you had a conversation, tell them you got a kid. They're like, okay, good.
Yep.
Cool, whatever.
Yep.
But you need to see that person around your child before you get deep into the relationship, because you need to see how are they really going to respond to your child? How is your child going to respond to them? Are they the type of person that could potentially be a good bonus parent to your child?
Yep.
I've seen it a number of times. People get in relationships with somebody, they wind up getting married, and this person has no interest whatsoever in being involved in the life of their child.
Yep.
So now they're in the house, but they're not parenting. That's just my mom's husband.
Right. And when that happens, guys, I guarantee you what's happening is that you are somehow setting the tone for that.
Right.
And I'm telling you right now, it is really, really something that's not good long term. We got a bonus one for those of y'all who are listening and you really want one more. And I'm going to tell you right now, this one right here is a game changer. Yeah. If you want the bonus one, I want you to put it in the chat. I know we said we would do 5 things and we did 5 things, but we got a bonus one for you today. If you want the bonus, let me know. Listen, for those of you guys who may be chiming in and you're in the Rocky Mount, North Carolina area, Sheri and I are going to be in town on February the 9th. We're going to be at the Impact Center, and it's going to be a parenting workshop called Parenting with Purpose. If you are interested in being a part of that, make sure that you go to our website, right? And it's called thecrcoach.com, www.thecrcoach.com. Get more information about that, because I want you to either tag, share, or, maybe pick up the phone and call any friends, family, relatives that you have that are parenting in the Rocky Mount, North Carolina area, because these kinds of principles we're going to bring out in a live interactive workshop, and we're going to have people do work to discover certain things about themselves that helps make parenting a whole lot easier.
Right. So if you're in the area or you know anybody in the Rocky Mount area that's interested, have them go to our website. Registration, they do have to register for the event because they're providing some
There's a
things.
nominal cost because they're going to serve you breakfast, but it's like super, super cheap.
Right, so make sure you go there.
The cost
and
of
register.
breakfast at any place, right? So make sure that you go there to register. Right. So if you're ready for a bonus, I got a bunch of strings. Somebody say, yup, bonus baby. Near my, oh, I love it, Chris J02. If that's near your hometown, do me a favor.
Let us know if you're there.
Let your folks know, because maybe you don't live there anymore, but do me a favor, make sure that you tag them. We get so busy with life, so we need time outs with our kids. Candace, let me just tell you, you need to just be quiet, because I ain't shared my notes with you. But how about bonus? The bonus one is, put this in the chat, me time. That's the bonus. We're talking about single mothers who are highly effective at single mothering. They know how to put on the list and include themselves in their priorities, in their schedule.
Right. You have to make time for yourself.
You have to.
I am a strong proponent of that. If you are not healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally as an individual, you are no benefit to anybody.
Especially your children.
So you have to take time for yourself. If that's you going to get your nails done by yourself once a week, if that's you going for a walk by yourself, whatever it is, you have to schedule time for just you.
Yep.
And time for you is, I don't know, you maybe send the kids to the neighbor's house for an hour so you can take a bubble bath, whatever it is.
Yep.
Whatever your time, you need time to decompress and just have time with you.
Self-care is absolutely important. Oh, that's Christy. I appreciate that, Christy. Yeah, Christy actually is in Columbia. So that's your hometown. Let all your sorors, Christy, you already know you got a whole tribe of folks. Let them know we're going to be in Rocky Mountain. That information is on our website. But guys, we're going to get ready to jump out of here. But let me tell y'all something. I'm going to just sort of underscore something about self-care. I think that our culture, and most of us, I'm 52, Sheri is 53, she'll be 54 in a few months, I'll be 53 later on this year. Here's what we learned when we all grew up. Our parents weren't trained on how to take care of them.
Nope. Not at all.
And the reason why is because if you think about it, they were the ones that came up through, the civil rights era. They were the ones that came. They were the baby boomers. They were the ones that came before us, and they were so busy trying to forge a life for us. They was on some survival stuff.
Right.
We were born in the generation where we now have become far more intellectually connected than our parents ever were in terms of when they were coming along. So didn't nobody care about no self-care. Are you kidding me? If I care about you just got to make it happen. I need you guys, especially my single moms and my single parents, to understand that without you, there is no them.
Right.
Let that breathe.
Right.
If you are not a whole you, how are they going to be?
Especially as a single parent. You are their everything.
So
if something happens to you, if you go down, the whole ship goes down.
Absolutely.
And so you have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. So we're going to get ready to get out of here for today. I'm excited, guys. Listen, do me a favor. We're super excited. Next Thursday, put it on your calendar. If you are single and you want to get married, put a 1 in the chat. If you are single and you want to get married in this lifetime, maybe you are divorced. Maybe you are
this lifetime, not when I come back.
Not when you come back as a rich person. No, you want to get married in this lifetime, sometime in the future. Maybe you might not be dating right now, but you're interested. But you are not interested in going through the drama. You would love to know how to pick the right one the first time. Maybe it's your second time around the bend, and you don't want to pick wrong again. Right. We're doing a live workshop. It's a webinar for real on how to choose your mate next Thursday on the 31st, and I'm so excited.
It's not about what you think.
And it's not about what you think. I guarantee you, if you tune in and you apply these principles, I believe it's absolutely possible for you to pick the right person the first time out the gate and for it to last forever.
And on that, I just want to say something, ladies. Okay, so especially if you're in the church, he's supposed to find you.
Talking about the church lady.
The church. He's supposed to find you. You have a choice in that. And so you get to choose.
You get to accept or deny.
And so you need to know what it is you're looking for when you make that decision.
Please don't start giving stuff away because you get ready to talk way too much right now.
Sorry. I just get excited about
you just getting ready to give up too much information. Woo! They need to tune in next Thursday, 7 p.m. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if that's you. We'll make sure we tag you. Angel, good to see that 1. Tiara, good to see that 1. Sharon, Prissy, good to see all those 1s. Do me a favor, tag somebody who is single, who's trying to figure this thing out. I think it is time out for us to have learned what we've learned. And as a result, we are winning, but we are so selfish that we cannot pass that information on.
I want you all to win.
Let me tell you right now, we'll be 20 years old on the 30th. Just slow down. I'm a little amped up. I had my little situation over here. Uh-huh. So listen, it's day 26.
On Wednesday, January 30th, we will be celebrating our
20th wedding anniversary, right? So here's what
Can I have a kiss?
It's been a ride. It's been a great ride, guys. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I honestly think that what we have is not unattainable. Right. I honestly believe that there are opportunities out there for you guys to experience something that is completely fun, exciting, and fulfilling. Here's what I know. Scriptures teach that there's no marriage in heaven.
So
you ain't got but this lifetime to get that right if you're a believer, right? So what would it look like for you to pick the right person? The person you're supposed to be with, or when they come along in a female's case and they're picking you, you can say yes to the right person. Right. Because here's what I promise you. You say yes to the wrong person, you are also, now you're saying no to the right person because you with them. Right. And now you got these people in these marriages talking about, I married the wrong one. Seemed like to me, I need a do-over. That's our problem now. I'm going to get out of here, guys. We are super excited. But listen, I appreciate you putting that information in for me. Prissy, thank you very much. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. Enjoyed you. Thanks, guys. Y'all do me a favor. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. But at the end of the day, guys, we like to always leave out by saying, guess what? We all need some help. Y'all be good.
Have a great Saturday.
We will talk soon. Holla!